Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FSL Thailand qualifiers. We're looking for the team that's going to be representing Thailand in the FSL Elite event later on in September. For now, we will have our second game for you today. It's going to be Team Puffcorn, which is quite an adorable name. Going up against, I'm going to try and not screw this up, Opononi.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Also a very adorable name.
Both their names are quite cute and team logos are not too bad either.
Yeah.
But right now we are in picks and bans, and on the red side we will have Puffcorn on the, on the blue side Puffcorn, on the red side is going to be Opononi, and well, top lane focus bans seem to be the parent here coming in for Puffcorn, whereas looking like more targeted bans coming from Opononi.
Yep. We do see the Ari though. I think we've saw Ari once during FSL Vietnam.
Yeah, oh yeah. That was a pretty strong,
That was a great
that was an instant
Ari.
ban Ari, right? And well, this time the draft is kind of different because both teams already showed their hand quite a lot. We see Sejuani, Cannon, and Kaiser being picked up by Puffcorn. And on the opposite side, it's going to be Ari, Varus. I think you kind of want something like a Tom Kenshire to protect the Varus, maybe even a Braum if you have to. Looking for the support pick might be the better choice here for Opononi.
Yeah, definitely. When you have these kinds of immobile AD carries, you definitely want, an option with tools to protect him so that he doesn't get bursted out in lane or during ganks.
Oh, it's going to be the Jax here. So showing their hand early on, they want to get or at least secure a premium pick in their opinion in the form of the Jax. Could be jungle, could be top, but more likely to be... Oh, hold on here.
More likely to be a remake.
Yeah, might just be a remake. I was curious because when they locked in the Jax, they were actually down to 0 seconds on the clock. So maybe it was just a panic lock-in and they say, okay, we want to play something else actually. Yeah, there you go. So we're getting word it was a disconnect, so they did have to sort of pick up something. And whatever you hovered or defaulted on, it would have been the champion, that they wanted. So right now we're just gonna remake the lobby, and we're not any strangers to the disconnects. The previous games we did have, or at least the previous game before this, we did have a bit of a connection issue coming in.
But I want to talk about Jax though. If you're going against the Cannon, I think Jax is pretty okay because we did see Cannon locked in, most likely going into top lane. So I think auto attack champion. I think Jax might actually be sort of okay into that pick.
I actually do like the open Cannon pick. When I say open, like blind, right? On the blue side, because I was actually talking to Jensen about this, and on red side it's really tough to play Cannon because you have two avenues of getting ganked. You can get ganked through the river, you can get ganked through the tri-brush. On blue side, you only have to worry about the river, right? So it's actually much safer in a sense. The top side is a bit stronger for blue, and you can play open picks like that Cannon.
Fair enough. We are back into champs.
My feathers.
Kind of a bit of an odd graphic coming in. I think is a bit of a client issue as opposed to a stream issue. So we will be looking to resolve that. As you can see, when they go for the second round of bans, it sort of resets, right? So I think this is a bit more of a client issue as opposed to a technical one. So right now, all things assuming that they are the same, it's going to be the Sejuani, Cannon, and Kaiser. Meanwhile, on the other side, it should be Ari, Varus, and question mark, right? We did hear it's not going to be a Jax, so it's a question mark on the second. Might be a Jax, most likely not. I think in the lobby they said it wasn't going to be a Jax, so I'm pretty sure this is not a Jax pick. Oh, it's going to be Jarvan instead? Yeah, there you go. Okay. Still starts with a J. Yeah.
Still starts with a J. So still with an A.
Yeah, Jarvan is still pretty strong, I think, in terms of priority of jungler goes. Against the Sejuani, though, not as impactful when it comes to what you provide for the team, but the early game pressure is still one as well. It's a bit tricky, I would say.
Well, we've certainly seen this matchup like more than a few times. I think whoever comes out ahead of this matchup is whoever looks for the early ganks more.
Yeah. Sejuani is one of those jungle champions in your books, at least. You always have this pleasure when they path weirdly and they don't have the ability to cover the lanes. When it comes to what they want to do, I think Jarvan wants to, like you mentioned, gank more, burn some of the spells, regank. Sejuani wants to be there to counter gank, right? And I think in that endeavor, you have to work wisely and select which lanes you want to pay attention to. As we see the second round of bans coming in, it's going to be Yuumi, Morgana, so bot lane focus this time. And a Kaiser, rather a Karma being banned out by Puffcorn and the Pike as well, so a lot of support bans coming in.
Yep, definitely pinching that pool, but I do want to draw attention back to the Sejuani pick. I think if Puffcorn right now, they have shown the Sejuani, they might want to go for a bit more melees in their team composition. Maybe a melee mid laner at this
Aurelia, Renekton, Camille, all champions that can be flexed into mid lane if you know what you're doing and still provide that sort of mid jungle synergy that you are looking for with the Sejuani right now. The Cannon could even be flexed to mid lane if they want to. And see a Braum being locked in for Sparky in the support position. Like we said, when you have Varus, you want a support that can provide that peel, provide that protection, and Braum and Tahm Kench both do that relatively well.
I'm gonna see who rounds out this composition over here on Puffcorn with the Kai'Sa, though. I'm thinking if you have, well, what's a good support to go with this Kai'Sa? We see Azir though, so
Nautilus might not be too bad if you want to play the Kai'Sa in the bot lane, because I think Kai'Sa Nautilus is one of the stronger duos in bot. Allows you to apply plasma stacks very quickly, and when it comes to playing aggressively, the on-demand CC from the dead charge is just so good in locking down priority targets like the Varus.
Well, of course, Braum is there so that he can block it, but we do see a Nautilus, like you said,
Right.
It'll be a very strong bot lane going for both teams at the moment. I think Kai'Sa Nautilus is going to have a bit more priority earlier on in the game.
Yeah.
And Nar top.
Nar top is, so when you talk about safe open picks, right, Nar is also one of those champions that can be open pick topside, but the danger here is because you're on red, it's much easier for you to get ganked. If they flank you from the tri-brush in the top side, it's tougher for you to get your escape spells off. Like, you can't hop past them if they knock you up. And I think Sejuani has the ability with her Arctic Assault to knock you out of your animation, and you actually end up having to burn flash if you want to escape.
Alright, well, a very uncommon matchup in the top lane. I think we're going to see who comes out on top.
I have to remember though that the Oponomi's composition very good at not only making picks but also team fighting, because the terrain creation from Cataclysm that Jarvan does actually synergizes really well with Gnar, and you can force fights or at least counter your opponent's engages with Varus and Braum. So actually a lot of tools available for them if they want to team fight.
That's a very good point. I think both these teams have a lot of
strong team fighting tools.
Strong team fighting tools like AoE CC.
Yeah.
Both sides definitely.
Super reliable AoE CC too. Yeah. Like Sejuani and Cannon do have that wombo combo opening, right? Like if you hit Glacial Prison, Cannon comes in, you find the fight that you want. If anything goes south, Azir Emperor's Divide allows you to reset the fight. So similar to both, sort of what the opposition have. Both teams have tools to start the fights, but also counter the fights, like reset and pick the fights on their own terms. So when it comes to this sort of situations, I like to think it's the team with the better execution, the better shot calling that excels, because you have same goals. Your win conditions are the same. You're playing the same game. It's how you execute that matters, because if you have different sort of end goals, then you don't have to play your opponent's game. You just play your own game, right? Right now, if team fighting is the name of the game, whoever team fights better wins. If you were team fight against split push, then you just, split push versus team fight, you don't have to play the same game at all. It's what Leonard likes to say. If you have a 1-4 composition, just don't team fight,
Exactly what I was gonna say. Effectively, both teams want to go for the team fight. I think whoever comes out on top of these teams are going to take the game, obviously, because
it's like you're playing the same thing. You kind of have to rely on execution if you both are looking at the competitions that you're looking at now. Of course, there is some degree of leeway that both teams have. The Azir Kai'Sa better scaling, Ahri Varus better mid game. Of course, there is that sort of thing that you have to look out for, and there are different power points with the compositions. But overall, like we said, the big picture is team fighting, and whether you can. It comes down to whether you can execute those team fights. If you miss your Glacial Prison and you don't connect with the Slicing Maelstrom on priority targets, well, you're not going to win the fight.
Oh, well. One of the matchup we don't see very often is the Azir Ahri. I think Azir hasn't actually been seen that much in this region, even though he has seen increasing popularity.
That's true, yeah.
So one thing we should look out for is whether Azir is able to pull off those Empress Divides, and whether Ahri is able to land those crucial charms like we did see in FSL Vietnam.
Actually, I'm super surprised that the Azir here, Frazier, didn't go for the cleanse. Normally you want to get cleanse for sort of a respect pickup in terms of summoner spells. And in this case as well, because there's Varus, there's Braum, and there's Ahri, right? There's so many sort of on-demand crowd control tools that they have that you really do need to cleanse. If you get hit by Chains of Corruption, it's so easy for the enemy to layer on the CC. So you do have to respect the opponents, and getting hit by a charm here without cleanse is a death sentence for Frazier.
Perhaps he's, sort of
super confident.
Super confident in his own abilities to
I don't know.
around.
Even then also, like, even if I was in a position where I think I'm better, I would still like to have the layer of safety, right?
It's fair enough. Well, does pick up the teleport probably allows them to go for more ambitious flanks, position their Emperor's Divide more effectively against Opononi.
When it comes to the teleport as well, having that global presence allows you to cheat recalls. It's something I always like to talk about nowadays, because Azir, Ahri, if you do have the early priority by being able to shove the waves out, you could actually recall without using teleport to get back to lane, to get the buy timing off. and then you have the advantage of expanding to the top side of the map if you need to with the teleport.
That's the thing though, I think earlier on in the game we're going to give the advantage of the Ahri. It doesn't really have to walk into the range of those soldiers in order to, farm. I think she does have the potential to just shove Azir under the tower where he's going to struggle a bit more.
Actually, I want to take a look at the loading screen because there's some interesting keystones here that should be discussed. Later on, you notice that Ahri did go for the Glacial Augment instead of the Electrocute. So this signals to me that she's not looking for the all-in pick, right? She wants to be a bit more utility, maybe allow Varus to buy some space for Varus later on. Traditionally, you would go for Electrocute if you wanted to go for the kills, look for the picks with the charm, but in this case, not the case.
Yep, definitely a bit more of a defensive pick coming in from Ahri, not the Electrocute, so that she can jump in and just burst everyone.
And for the cannon as well, going for Kleptomancy instead of press the attack. So this is a very greedy sort of cannon build, right? You go for this keystone if you want to accelerate your item curve, you want to accelerate your economy. Normally you go for press the attack if you're looking to split push and match the Gnar. In this case, Cannon just wants to get early items and then impact the fight with the goal lead that she has.
Yeah, across the board, everything else seems to be in order. We do jump in onto Summoner's Rift here, though.
I mean, there are other interesting things, like in this case, Nala's going for Guardian instead of Aftershock. Yeah, so this is a lane that says, I'm willing to sacrifice the immediate tankiness for a bit more sustain and ability to stay in lane for longer against the poke of the Varus, who in this case did go for Lethal Tempo. So there's two choice Varus builds. One is the Arcane Comet poke you out build with lethality. The other one is Lethal Tempo, where you go for team fight, Blade Ruin King into Green Switch or something like that.
Both these teams seem to be happy with a protect the ADC composition at this point.
Extremely right.
Bit of a standard start as usual, nothing out of the ordinary, I think.
And Azir also does have sort of two diversion paths you can go for keystones. I was actually talking to Len about this because we do have some differing ideas of how to play Azir. One way is you go for Arcane Comet and then you rush Luden's Echo for a mid-game spike. The other is the Lethal Tempo, where you go for Nashers into a scaling sort of style where you do look to teamfight instead, right? In this case, it does signal to me that with the Lethal Tempo, they're looking for the late game fights and they're looking to scale, right? They're looking for the front line of Kennen, Sejuani, and then you have Azir, Kai'Sa in the back, just sort of, doing their thing. Whereas if you had gone for the Arcane Comet, you can set up a siege very effectively. You just sit there, queue, and poke them out.
Well, effectively, both these teams, I think, are content with just sitting back and, punching the damage through later on in the game, I think. We're not going to see too much action earlier on unless Sejuani or Jarvan has anything to say about that.
Yeah, I'm curious how they're going to path though. What's your prediction here? Because Jarvan looks like she's starting on the top side, and I would venture a guess that covering bot lane might be the best bet here because Gnar isn't going to be doing much against Kennen, and if you want to force mid lane, you might be lacking damage because of Glacial Augment Ahri, so you could play to mid, but I'd wager bot lane is your best bet here.
Yeah, and like we said, I think Ahri's going to push up that mid lane a little bit more, so I do agree with you. I think the main avenue for Jarvan to find a bit of an earlier advantage for his team is to go for that bot lane.
Right.
Obviously, we can sort of exploit, perhaps if this Nautilus wants to go in a little bit more. I think Jarvan can punish that if he's there. Obviously, he's a Sejuani, he's just going to try to mirror him and look for those counter engages if Jarvan does try to go for a gank.
Yeah, that's the idea, right? The pathing of Sejuani is super important, like you mentioned. I think a couple of games ago we were doing Campus Legends. I'm not particularly sure which set of games we were watching where Sejuani pathed a bit off, and we were wondering why you would make a decision like that to go in this route and not counter gank and not cover your lanes properly. That's going to be a big point of contention here for Gundam back. I think if she does, do the 200 IQ pathing, then it might be very beneficial to a bot lane or even the mid lane here.
I've had my fair share of criticisms to all the Sejuanis I've seen recently, so not exactly sure which one you're referring to, but hopefully...
I think it was Campus Legends Ice Destiny's Sejuani, where he did that unique wolves into red into raptors, I think. That game, I think his pathing was super weird to me. I had no idea what he was trying to achieve.
That man has some interesting clears. Let's give him that, alright?
Well, the Silas no buff clear also is another one, right? That's the patented, do 0 buffs and then hit a lane and go take a bath after that. Yeah.
Alright. Well,
still on this pause, I think it was the support for Opononi that disconnected, I think.
I'm pretty sure Nautilus is connected.
Oh, Nautilus disconnected, so it was the Puffcorn support that disconnected.
Just waiting for them at the moment.
It did happen in the previous game, so we're not phased by this technical problem, but coming in, hopefully we do fix that up soon.
Definitely prefer if it wasn't there though.
It's okay, you haven't experienced the dark ages of GPL Vietnamese disconnects. That is the true technical issue.
Hope I never will then.
That's like when the countdown timer for your pause goes to negative.
Okay.
Like it goes to negative 5 minutes and it's just red color.
It's just red color.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like hell.
Hence back then the affectionate nickname Karina Pause League. Because everything was being paused back then.
I see where that's going. Okay.
It tends to be the case with Southeast Asian tournaments sometimes.
Yeah, well. Hopefully the infrastructure is slightly better now.
Oh yeah, dude. Vietnam's internet is solid now.
Oh, he's back. He's back. 4 minutes.
Alright. Okay.
Should be jumping back in the game soon though.
Yeah, she is reconnected, I think, and should be jumping into game relatively soon once they unpause. Of course, both teams have to sort of give the signal to go. Second game for today, FSL Thailand qualifiers. Winners will be playing in, or at least the winner of the qualifier will be playing in the FSL Elite Tournament. Yep. That will be held, I think, off the top of my head, it's September 7th and 8th or 8th or 9th. You got that right. Yeah, 7 and 8, right? 7, 8. At the Comics exhibition at Suntec.
What is Comics?
Comics is like a computer sort of show where... I don't know how to best describe it. It's like a fair, right? It's an IT fair.
Alright, fair enough.
Do not sound like an uncle, it's an IT fair.
Okay.
It'll be held at Suntec Convention Center, so do drop by if you are interested in watching the games. Yep. Of course, we will be there at FSL Elite.
Yep. Alright, at the moment, I think we're just waiting for Nautilus to set back up.
Alright, there you go. Both teams have given the sign to start, and there you go.
Alright, here we go.
Reconnected in. I love that we have the chat up so we can see both teams just very open, transparent communication.
Is that legal?
It is. Most tournament organizers will have you believe otherwise, but I think it's cool that we do leave it up sometimes. Friendly banter is always good too.
Well, unless they sort of
there's no BM
to reveal some secret strats, I think we'll be fine.
It's like, in Pro View when you watch LCS or LEC, right? And the teams are just like making fun of each other.
Open up paint.
Yeah. Exact same thing. Alright, so junglers are going to start on the same side of the map here with the help of their bot laners, Sejuani on red and Jarvan on her blue.
Pretty standard, but it might mean for Jarvan that she is actually going to go path towards the top lane instead of priority mid.
Yeah. Doing a 2 camp take, rather buff camp take into red is the standard path for Jarvan here. Traditionally, I would opt to go for clear bot half and then move to the top side, but that does delay your timing, right? You'll be slightly late to the Rift Scuttle, rather. Scuttle Crab.
Scuttle Crab, yeah.
Scuttle Crab. Lemon Sugar heading to her red buff, meanwhile on the bot half. I think on to where we do expect the Kaiser Nautilus lane, like you said, to have a bit of a priority early on.
I'm not going to see much action at this point. I don't think we're going to see much action across the entire early game, really, so... Just watch them farm. I think it's pretty entertaining. Right there.
There you go. So clear 2 camps and then you move to the red buff, and now you have this sort of timing where you can hit a lane if you want to. Otherwise, you're super early for Scuttle Crab and you have the control over the area. Instead, heading into her opponent's blue buff. This is interesting here. She's gonna spot this out and know that it's untaken. So this signals to Opononi that hey, Sejuani is possibly still on the bottom side. Be careful because she can gank you. And Lemon Sugar is just going to pull the buff out and very wisely ward across the wall as well.
He's going to start it out. The real question right now for Sejuani is she going to stop to take the wolves? Yes,
man.
Is. Feels bad, man. There goes your buff, my friend.
Yeah. Did do a full clear on the bottom half, so this doesn't really hurt her take. And now she's going to get spotted once she walks across the wall. There you go. Pings her down. They know Sejuani's there. And a great setup here from Lemon Sugar. You can see that she's just sitting around. Might be looking to take this fight. A very low health Sejuani's going to ping out the Jarvan. Oh, man. Just a second earlier, she might have not been spotted out, but now this is top Scuttle Crab going the way of Opononi.
Yep, has priority over the Scuttle Crab. Sejuani is in no way to contest this as she is on the way to.
I like that, Lemon Sugar this early on has shown that this is an extremely cerebral path coming in. She knows, okay, if I take the blue buff, I sit in that brush, Sejuani's next move is to take Scuttle Crab. So I could set up a trap, but she was a bit late, bit of hesitation there. nevertheless showing those 200 IQ pass coming in.
Slight advantage over the Lemon Sugar at this point. I think definitely has a bit of advantage after taking the blue buff and then Skullcrab away from Garden back. So.
And like you said, with the early push priority in the mid lane, Ahri's going to shove, recall, and then buy up. And this is a great wave. Normally you want to recall on a cannon wave, so she did do that exactly. And now she's going to be walking back to lane, albeit not with the best buys, but still getting a cheating item window out.
And we do see Sejuani did go back to base to pick up a jungle item, tier 1 though, which means Jarvan's going to have priority over the Skullcrab at the bot side too.
Oof, yeah. This is what you expect from the Jarvan player if you do path properly, right? You get full control of both Skullcrabs as well as extra camps if you invade at the right timings. So level 4 Jarvan to a level 3 Sejuani, who's super sad now, is going to get spotted out by the ward in the brush as well.
Yep, Lemon Sugar at this point very happy, but if you're Garden back, you're wondering how are you going to get back into this early game.
The good thing about Sejuani is that she can still afford to at least play it a bit more passively and wait for the level 6. Her job is just to counter gank and match the Jarvan, right? As long as she knows where the Jarvan is and can inform her teammates, this doesn't become too much of an issue.
Yeah, and that's not to say she can't find her own ganks as well. I think if she goes for the bot lane gank, you do have the Nautilus lock down the opposing AD carrier support. I think that's definitely one avenue that Sejuani can exploit to try to get their bot lane ahead as well.
If you're talking mechanically, there's actually a very good way for them to apply the Sejuani passive. So what you do is, if you're a Nautilus, you flash auto W auto. Your W is auto attack reset, right? Yep. You get 2 stacks off plus the root Sejuani comes in after you assault. There's a 3rd stack and W. You immediately get the proc on her passive. It's actually a good way to guarantee that you lock down and chain the CC properly.
Definitely gonna have to see if they're able to chain that CC properly later on if she tries for a gank. At the moment though, we see both junglers just going for a bit of farm. Jarvan's passing to the top side, but he's not gonna find much since there's so many blue wards in that river.
And this is what we're talking about, right? If you're playing cannon, you can extend past the river because the only way you're gonna get ganked is through that entrance in your lane. So if you have the wards, you have the advanced information like the cannon does now, you can lightning rush away, avoid the gank.
Yep, Lemon Sugar acknowledges this, just gonna clear out a bit of a vision here. Cannon just left safely to farm at his top side.
Meanwhile, with the early push priority like talked about, cheats the item out, recalls gets a lost chapter, and unfortunately Azir with the delayed sort of recall timing did have to use the teleport to get back into lane. So now the Summoner Spell advantage belonging in favor of the Ahri, who could look for it all in now at level 6. You do have the propensity to find the kill if you land your charm as well as the ignite to follow up.
One thing we should take a look at though is the Dragon. It's Infernal Drake, which means both teams
super high priority
should be prioritizing this. Should see some vision coming down towards that bottom side river sooner rather than later, but
Frazier walking in, trying to land, trying to get some wards down into the jungle. Will get the control ward behind the mid tier 1. Meanwhile, Lemon Sugar in the top half, clearing a ward away by herself, will get a control of her own as well.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, not gonna see much action throughout this early game. We're just gonna see both teams sort of maneuver around each other, try to clear out a bit of wards.
If you saw on the minimap, there's a question mark ping along the Raptor camp, and I think right now the problem is that they don't know necessarily where the Jarvan is until, okay, she's gonna get spotted out finally. Yeah. So for a period of time, you know, they were sort of guessing and trying to make an educated guess about where the Jarvan was because they have no vision whatsoever, but now they will know with the early ward that Jarvan's in the bottom half of the map.
So take a blue buff, and oh, I think you're gonna give it to Ahri.
Okay.
Alright.
I don't think that's like a necessary move. Honestly, she has lost chapter. There's no reason for you to give the buff over. Had she taken that, I think she would have hit level 6 and this gank would have been slightly more impactful with the Cataclysm.
It's a bit of an ambitious gank though.
Ooh, double ward. Ouch.
Ooh. Oh, triple ward.
Oh,
extra vision, my friends. Well,
someone told me it doesn't work that way, but I think they're setting up for this counter gank here. They know that Sejuani's bot side because she did start rip buff. Looking to force something here. A lot of damage down, a good CC, a great chain coming through, and First Blood's gonna go the way of the mid lane. Ahri getting the kill credit, and you can see their Chains of Corruption into the Glacial Fissure is an instant pickup. The charm on top, just the icing on the cake to get the kill. We'll be getting a good deal of turret plates here on the bot side.
That's a beautiful chain of CC earlier to lock down fight in top.
Using the Mega Knife to knock the cannon into the wall, but the Slicing Maelstrom not enough to dissuade the engage, though Flash will be used in return to get away from that all-in attempt. And Comfy Roof in the top side, this Nara is doing a good deal of work, climbing ahead in CS as well.
Yep, not much action, I said, as everyone tries to go in for a bit of a skirmish. we do see turret plating traded over to Opononi from Puffcorn at the bot side, so there's going to be a bit more gold going to the pocket of Varus.
Yeah, but meanwhile they're going to get spotted out doing this Inferno Dragon here, the control over the wall. We'll see this being started up, but they pulled it out, and rightfully so, they will probably take this away, but the steal might be attempted here as the Sejuani jumps in, and now she's going to get picked off. The heal coming in just for good measure, and the killer instinct in there. Want to take this fight though, very low health Sejuani flashing away. Now the rest of Opononi having to run out of this fight. They don't want to take this as the fight is split on both fronts. Very low health bars on multiple members, but they managed to successfully disengage. A great call coming in from Opononi to take the dragon and just run the heck out of it.
This is what we expected, right? Very high priority dragon, we see both teams try to prioritize it and go for it and contest it against each other. At the end of the day, we do see Opononi pick it up as well as a kill onto Sejuani, so that's definitely an advantage over them.
I think the call coming in was a bit disjointed on the side of Puffcorn. You could see Sejuani went in first and then they all went in one by one. Not enough members or not enough firepower to finish off the low health bar members of Opononi.
Definitely not what you want. You have to, crisp communication. You want to go in together as a unit and look to put down your damage on your priority target.
The first blood goal going the way of the Ahri. She did pick up the Hextech GLP, or as we affectionately term it, the fire hose. She's going to be able to slow down multiple members as the Nara is going to get found out here. Walking in, Sejuani having to Arctic Assault out.
Good restraint from Sejuani, just walking away from the Nara, not wanting to look for the engage because he knew Ahri could have just walked right up and made it a 2v1.
And Spirit Rush available too, you just don't want to be in that sort of situation. She throws out the Charm Fishing for a bit more damage. Yeah, as a Azir player going for Lethal Tempo, you kind of have to respect this coming in from Ahri because her push potential is so strong and she's looking for all in the mid lane. She finds it with the Spirit Rush as well as the Ignite coming in. I think the GLP was used as well, so they find a solo kill in the mid lane, and now
she wants Sejuani.
Oh, she's looking for her now. She's fine with the control ward, you know.
The ward.
Getting a solo kill and a control ward and the honey fruit as well, man. Everything that you could ever want and more here for the Ahri.
Against a real feels bad man for the Azir, but we do have praise. Ahri, I believe if she hit her skill shots, that's gonna be a very scary mid laner deal to play against.
Speaking of which, in top side, using the charm and getting a kill once more in the top side. Slicing Maelstrom, not really doing all too much. It's a great engage tool, not so good at disengaging as the teleport will come in on the top half of the Azir joining the fight. Enough people here to stop them from taking more turret plates.
Yep, 3-0-0 now on the mid lane. This is going to be very difficult for this Azir to lane against. This is going to be very oppressive until the turret forks, really. I don't think Azir really has a chance in hell of getting back.
So, keeping up in CS, but just really far behind in gold due to the kills. Ahri's taking a very commanding lead. And I like that she did go for the magical footwear as well because she's in the inspiration tree.
Free gold.
Yeah, so free 300 gold, why not? 1.8k is the lead for the Ahri, and it's gonna grow a little more. She picks up another plate in the mid lane. Wow, that's a lot of damage just from an Orb of Deception alone.
That really paints the picture for this Azir. If he gets caught out with a stray charm, I think, like you say, he should have picked up the cleanse. If he does get caught out now, it's really just a death sentence for him.
You see, gotta pick up the cleanse against the Ahri, man. It's just such an important summoner spell to have, otherwise get picked out. And meanwhile, Spirit Rush in, trying to land the charm though. Will use the GLP and the charm connecting now. Finally, still pretty tanky, and the last charge of the Spirit Rush might not be enough as she auto attacks the Sejuani and runs out. Here comes the counter engage in from the Glacial Fissure on the Braum and a double kill. Great play from the roaming support of Opononi.
5-0-0 now on this Ahri. You do not want to be within... You don't want to be on a screen with this fella.
Speaking of being on a screen, they're making something happen in the bottom half. They find the first kill on the Kaisa, and this was a 2-on-1 engage on favor of Puffcorn. And now they're running away. Nautilus. It's going to get stuck under the bot tier 1. Blue of the Ranking was picked up by the Varus, and despite a engage in favor of them, they still lose a single member.
Ends up being a 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Gold actually pretty even down there at the moment, but we do see Opononi here going to take some turret plating off them.
This is a bot tier 1 being taken away, and the bonus gold is great as well, going the way of the Ari who, let's be real, she doesn't need this goal, it's just a bonus, right?
We're gonna see where this Ari decides to push her advantage on the rest of the team so that we can see Opononi get further ahead. If she's able to do that, I don't think Puffcorn's gonna be able to get back in.
30 seconds on the next dragon coming up, and positioned around the bottom half already is Opononi. It's gonna be another Inferno. Man, the RNG is just so good here. Lemon Sugar gonna find the Sejuani here in the mid lane. As the call has been made, both teams are gonna prioritize this dragon. 2 Infernos, man, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give it over to Opononi to Puffcorn right now. We do see Nautilus pathing towards it, trying to set up a bit of vision, though.
There's a control ward already. And a blue buff Ari leading charge for her team, just walking forward.
Yeah, if Opononi decides to start this up right now, Puffcorn don't have any vision to spot it out, so it might actually just be free over there.
And the last ward around the area was just cleaned out as well from the Braum. So this is great control coming in from Opononi. They know that they have to prioritize the vision and take this one away. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade hopefully here for this Sejuani as she moves over to the Rift Herald.
Here's the question, you have the Rift Herald, but all your lanes are being pushed in, where are you going to use it?
It's a tricky one. I think that's the right question to ask as well, because the current focus is your mid-tier 1 getting shoved out, and it just might be taken out with 4 members strong here. No question about that, and like you said, Trufino, Rift Herald, sure it's on the Sejuani, but there's no way you can really use it to get the most out of it. Engage in the mid lane, change of corruption on top of the Cataclysm. The death charge being used to counter engage, but immediately picked up is the Sejuani. Now they're attacking off the Unbreakable, and great over this section to get the kill there. Riri having to flash away, but the charm in on the cannon. They might just be looking for more as the concussive blows applies the passive from the Braum. Frazier doing her best to shove in the bot tier 1, but mid tier 2 might just be falling here if 3 members strong.
I mean, it's now 7-0 You're not gonna stop this guy. You're just gonna run over your team. You're gonna kill everyone.
And remember, it's a Glacial Augment Ari.
Yeah.
She's not supposed to be this powerful in terms of damage, you know. She should be a utility champion, but because she has snowballed from the early first blood, she's doing so much for her team, and she spreads the advantage in the bot lane, in the mid lane, on top side. Gets the benefit of the fed Ari as well.
Exactly right. I don't think there's any way that you're gonna kill this person, so at this point, if you're Puffcorn, you just have to look for picks elsewhere around the map. I think if you play a good macro game at this point, you still can take some towers and look for an advantage through the avenue.
We're talking about how scaling is, you know, sort of still in their favor when it comes to Azir Kai'Sa. Manamune is the item of choice here. The build is going for a late game style Manamune Guinsu's Kai'Sa. So there is a potential for them to get to the late game power point, right?
Yeah, but to do that, you have to farm up a little bit. A bit of feels bad if your only kill on the team is on the Nautilus.
Yeah.
Because you're 0-2-0 and your Kai'Sa 0-1, so it's gonna take a while for them to ramp up, but they can still do it like you said, but they do require a lot of CS to get there.
Problem now is they gotta stem the bleeding. It's 17 minutes in and the goal lead is 8k in favor of Opononi. Jeez. Twin Shadows being picked up and a needlessly large rod as well. That's an instant 2-item buy for the Ari there.
In the previous game, we saw that Red Team wasn't able to close out the game very effectively. Hopefully we don't see that here. I think Opononi has the tools to go for these sorts of engages and finish the game in an easy fashion.
Just gotta close this out clinically is a way for them here. Nara's gonna spot out the control ward and clear that one out. And you can see just now in the jungle, the Jarvan, no hesitation to just flag and drag forward to shove the Braum away, knowing that they have the kill potential. Not the Braum, right? Excuse me, the Nautilus away, knowing that they have the kill potential if they decide to go for it.
You didn't really have any backup though, so that may be one sort of mistake that Puffcorn can sort of punish if they had backup.
Second minion wave going to stream in here on the bottom half, and it's going to be bot tier 2 taken by the ladies of Opononi. 1-4 in effect, and they're looking to split the map up. The strong side now is the bottom half, and Nara's just there to soak pressure as skill shots sail by in the bot inhibitor turret.
Yeah, they absolutely do not want to take this 4v4 if you're Puffcorn. Opononi is just in such a commanding lead at this point that you cannot afford to go for these sorts of engages.
If you can find a flank with the cannon, take that 5v4, maybe there's a possibility that you do win that fight. Meanwhile, you're gonna get charmed up and knocked up instant deletion on the Sejuani. The CC is way too much and great chains coming in overall.
Why was this Johnny there? I mean, if you want to walk down, just go behind your base. Don't do these sorts of weird pathing. I think.
Yeah, you're taking unnecessary risks in a game where you're already behind. You know, GLP coming in from the Ahri, she's fishing for another charm. If she connects, I can guarantee it's going to be a kill coming in. As the Gnar has regrouped in the mid lane. Looking to siege down on the mid inhibitor turret, and a good deal of damage now from the Sand Soldiers coming in.
5v5 now as the Sejuani comes back up. I don't think.
Oh man.
Well,
Rift Herald in the
where
base.
You gonna put it, right?
That's the worst thing ever. It's the most low value Rift Herald you can put down.
Playing Rift Herald Roulette. You put him in the base and see which lane he goes to, and you're just like, he goes bot lane, we try to put out bot lane, we do whatever the Herald wants us to do.
This Herald's not even gonna get a single charge off as the members of Opononi are already wise to this and they tunnel down onto the bot lane, clearing this Rift Herald out. At this point, it's just a enlarged cannon minion. The bounty that they want is just gonna go the way of Opononi.
Well, at least they denied that objective from Opononi. If they did get that Rift Herald from Red Team, I think this base would be cracked by now. So I guess that's sort of in a way worth.
I guess so, but
free dragon though.
Free dragon for sure. There's nothing that a Puffcorn can do to contest this. No vision at all around the area too, so this should be simple take care for the ladies of Opononi.
It's pretty realistic as we see Puffcorn just attempting to sort of stem the bleeding, like you said, and defend their base from this onslaught of minions.
Right now, the gold gap has opened up to 9k in favor of Opononi.
A bit of an overextension for Sejuani as he tries to put down a ward. Luckily, no one was there to answer the push.
Oh, look at that. The Scar's Bloom did spot out the members of Puffcorn here, and the second one is going to see them all here. 3 members of Puffcorn will be noticed by Opononi. And so also, our observer was showing us earlier, there's no vision whatsoever on the bottom half of the map. It belongs completely to Opononi, but there is a single ward on the Baron to prevent a sneaky take. There are a couple in the top half of the jungle as well. They're playing to the last bastion of space now because the top tier 2 is the only outer structure left on the map.
All that's left for Opononi to do right now is go to that top side like they're doing now and clear out the vision so that they can set up their Baron. And once they do have the big purple worm, I think it's going to be so much easier for them to just push into their base and end the game.
I think this is a thumbs up play coming in from me on the side of Opononi. They're clearing the wards out, they're playing this very clinically, right? You dot your I's, you cross your T's, get the wave pushing, you have Prio in the top half now, you can focus top tier 2 and look to fish with charms, look to fish with chains of corruption if anyone becomes a bit too confident, a bit too brazen and steps up like that. Kai'Sa leaping forward, having to flash away, and this is an instant double kill picked up by the Ahri. Emperor's Divide. It's going to dissuade the re-engage, but off the back it's going to be a triple being picked up by the Ahri once more. Like we said, if anyone gets a bit too brazen, overstepping, immediate charm, immediate chains of corruption, you're dead, my friend.
We did say in Champions Select, both these teams want a team fight, but when Opononi is this strong, Puffcorn will just get popped if they get engaged.
And they do have the option to make these picks. We saw it time and time again with charm, with chains of corruption. And now Baron is the objective for Opononi. No contest whatsoever from the ladies of Puffcorn as they have to sit back and watch the objective go down to their enemies.
It's pretty realistic at this point, and it really just begs the question now, if you're Puffcorn, what are you going to do to get back in the game? And my answer for you is
go next.
Go next. Go next.
Oh man.
We look at the goal lead, it's about 12k at this point. There's no way you're gonna come back from a 12k goal lead.
And now with Baron, they can play 1-3-1. They can most definitely play 1-3-1. There's no one that can match the Ahri if they decide to split the map into 3 lanes. Gnar is fine, just soaking pressure. Ahri is completely okay matching the Azir as well. Or in this case, Azir can't even match the Ahri. And the mid lane, if they choose to force on you, you have enough tools to disengage.
1-3-1 definitely an option here, but I think if you're this far ahead, you just go in and run.
What, just 5 men run them in?
Why not?
Run it down 5 men.
You can always play the 1-4. I think Gnar is very happy just chilling out like the side lane like he's been doing all game.
Fishing for the charm, not finding it though, just an inch away. Knowledge managing to walk out. Meanwhile, Baron up. Cannon minion is just going to be walking in, and with the skills coming in from their own side, they will be able to clear that one out. Icathian Rain deals sufficient damage, but look at the bot lane now. Decent sized wave has been pushed in, and a charm landing on the cannon. Oh man, so much damage with the Orb of Deception following up. Have to respect the damage coming in, and meanwhile mid inhibitor turret is gonna fall, like you said, completely free real estate there.
Now bot lane tower is gonna fall as well. I think both these teams, I mean, Opononi is just gonna push down both inhibitors at this point.
Yeah, they have to make a last stand though. If they lose both these inhibitors, it's just gonna be them choked out.
If you do go for a last stand at this point, you're just gonna get popped either way, so there is really nothing you can do with your Puffcorn.
Yeah, Puffcorn here looking to sort of defend and try to make keep themselves alive in the winner's bracket, but Opononi just walking in, looking to knock down the Nexus turret here as the Glacial Fissure will be used to dissuade them. Glacial Prison onto the Jarvan, not really going to do all too much. Emperor's Divide is going to be used. Here comes the Slicing Maelstrom onto the AD carry. They might find respite here as they find the opening kill, but the Kai'Sa is just going to be dunked by the Cataclysm. Ahri still alive means that a lot of damage is still up as they find the first Nexus turret, and the second is soon to fall behind. Opononi with an incredible lead, 14k ahead, is going to advance in the winner bracket as they knock down the Nexus. And unfortunately, Puffcorn is going to have to think and reflect on this game.
Very clean showing from Opononi. We did see a bit of hesitation, I think, earlier on, but once they got the Baron, they were just easily just going to push into that base and take the win.
The Ahri going so far ahead, finding multiple solo kills, was the red flag for me, because when you play this matchup as a utility Ahri, you're not supposed to be getting these solo kills, and I think a large part of it circles back to the idea of taking cleanse. There was no respect on the side of the Azir, didn't take the cleanse, thinking, well, I'll just survive the lane regardless. Went down multiple times to the Ahri, which allowed her to open the advantage to the rest of the map.
11-0 and 3 on this Ahri. Definitely the MVP of the team this game. Facilitated a lot of the advantages they were able to find, and I think one was the biggest factor in their ability to find this win.
Yeah, for sure. Now I think moving forward, they will be in the semi-finals match, if I'm not wrong. So, no, excuse me, rather. They'll be looking to play into the semi-finals. They'll be going up against the victor of the Mythos game. I mean, no, excuse me, Lannisters and Alternative Lady. That's going to be the match that decides who they will be playing up against. For now, guys, we'll be going for a short break. When we come back, we will have the next set of games for you. I think we'll be looking at the lower bracket now, as we take a peek at who the underdogs are. But for now, we'll be going for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.